Tell me, which is more visually appealing? This? Or this? Which has a more distinctive atmospheric mood? This? Or this? Which is more worthy of being on the big screen? This? Or this? Which can you actually see? This? Or this? Why does the color grading in Disney's live-action Little Mermaid look like that? Why so dull? Why so lifeless? Why so grey? This is supposed to be a Disney mermaid princess adventure fantasy musical blockbuster. Why is it being presented like a World War I Netflix drama? Don't say it's for the sake of realism because A, this is a film where a crab and a bird perform a rap number to a mermaid princess. B, the visual effects look too wonky to be presented in such a way. C, real life is not this dull. Real life is not grey. And the thing is that if the filmmakers wanted to go for a more grounded, mature aesthetic, you can do so in a painterly way that has atmosphere and mood, instead of just giving no personality, no life, no vision. Like, you don't have to have a super saturated, vibrant color palette to create visually pleasing or striking images that evoke an actual feeling. But they just went with the murky cement aesthetic. Okay, so before I go in and fix the color grading to the best of my ability, I just want to preface by saying color grading can only do so much. If the lighting on set was bad, or flat, or underexposed, or had no dimension, there's not much that color grading can do to save that. Same goes for the design of the world and characters and the visual effects. So let's try to fix this. And YouTube compression / quality is not going to make this look as good as it does on my editing software, but it still looks more appealing than the actual film. So first and foremost, we had to bring in some warmth to these images because they felt so cold. The blue tones of the ocean were on the cooler end of the spectrum, but this is supposed to be a tropical, magical ocean, so I brought in some warmth, some more green tones, more vibrancy. The highlights in the film's actual color grade are so harsh and contribute to the cold, clinical, digitized feeling, so bringing down the highlights and whites helps give some warmth and harmony to the image, and also helps make it look more like film because film has softer highlights. And generally, I just tried to soften the image because that helps it look more filmic and painterly and timeless and not so overly digital. And that also helps when the film takes place under the sea. And of course, I had to make Ariel's hair more red because it's Ariel. That's her most distinctive visual quality, so taking that away from Halle Bailey when she already had so much preconceived negativity targeted at her was just criminal. And also the red just helps create more variation in the image so it isn't just monochrome ocean. The land scenes I thought needed a more tropical, romantic warmth to them. They're just too muted and washed out. And the night scenes are way too dark and monochromatic, and they don't need to be. Look at the nighttime scenes in Cinderella. So I just think that these simple fixes in color grading would have had a major impact on the mood, atmosphere, magic, and appeal of the film. because even subtle changes in color and adjustments in the imagery do have a massive influence on how a film makes you feel. And I'd bet a lot more people would have been excited to see this film if it didn't look so bland and dull and drained of life for no reason. And I'm just a random guy with a laptop making these adjustments that the professionals who are backed by insane amounts of Disney money couldn't clock. Even when the entire internet was complaining about the color grading from the very first trailer, and they just didn't think it would be a good idea to address those complaints. They didn't think that would benefit their $200 million production to make minor changes that would have massive benefits. And I know there was a lot of unwarranted negativity being thrown at this film, so maybe they just took any criticism towards it as being bad faith, but like, come on, why does the movie look like this in the first place? So, I clearly am still not able to shut up about this movie because I continue to be baffled by how much potential was lost in so many different aspects and how easily it could have all been avoided. So tell me what you think. I mean, I know it's me doing these adjustments, so there's a bias, me thinking it looks better, but if you prefer the actual film's color grade, I don't know what to tell you. I think you could be delusional, but tell me what you think anyways. And have a lovely day.